Hello, my name is Sasha Malmquist, and this evening I want to discuss who and what has helped shape me as a person. Many people have an idol or a life-changing event that they look to when someone asks what or who has made them who they are. Something or someone of great influence can really define or shape someone's outlook on life. Myself, personally, well, I have one amazingly influential person and two defining time periods in my life that have really helped shape who I am as a person. From early on in my life, I have looked up to my grandfather, a man of stability, confidence, and intelligence. He believed in me from the moment I took my first breath. He resided in Michigan, so it made it hard for him to come out here to California, yet he made every effort to be in my life as much as he could before he passed away. What drives me most to make sure I make him proud in heaven is the fact that he was so modest about everything he did. My parents filled me in more and more after he passed away about everything he did and had done for the people he loved. He had given my father a job and mentored him to be the hard worker he is today. He made sure my mom always had money when she was down. He had started a bank account for my college endeavors, even when he found out my mom was just simply pregnant for me. He was a family man, someone everyone could count on to go to if they were down. For this reason itself, I have really dedicated my life to making sure that my grandfather would be proud. My grandfather influenced who I was from a child on up, but when I got to high school, I had the ability to grow even more. My high school is not as traditional as others were. It was a small private school, and I had the graduation class of 50 people. Yet these peers of mine were not typical people. They were all students who would go on, for instance, to work for Goldman Sachs and develop phone apps. These students had brilliance beyond the average student. It was a school for those who were academically gifted. Being an average student myself, I was pushed every day to succeed on levels that these students were performing at. Not only was I surrounded by students who were brilliant, yet the school required we spend 2 weeks at the end of each school year traveling to new countries and working in the local organizations to help the local villagers. It was both my peers and the volunteering that has driven me to want to succeed and help develop my dream of being a nurse and eventually opening my own clinic in a third world country. But it was not until later in my college years that I found the influence within myself to grow as a person. I decided at the beginning of my junior year of college to run a half marathon, something that is a big feat for someone like myself who has exercise-induced asthma. I dedicated 3 months of my life to training for this half marathon, and the time I spent every day running, it was time that helped me grow as a person. It was time that I got to reflect on who I was and what I really wanted to gain from life. When it finally came time to run that half marathon, I could hardly believe it was me, myself, going out there to run that marathon. It was not until after the half marathon, though, that I realized I really can do anything I set my mind to. I feel blessed to have had someone as influential as my grandfather, a place as impactful as my high school, and an event as demanding as the half marathon that helped define who I am as a person. In the future, I hope to encounter more people and events that influence my life even more. Thank you for listening and have a great evening.